So here's a question for y'all. You've got access to Lamborghini Gallardo. What are you going to do? Well, you're going to drive the hell out of it and you're going to make a video in the process. So, right off the bat, I should explain, this Lamborghini Gallardo is not stolen. I should say that for legal reasons and also moral reasons. I'd like to have a bit of a future on YouTube. This is my friend's car. Long story short, he couldn't drive it home. He asked me to. So obviously I reach for my camera and I say, yes, thank you very much. I would like to drive your Lamborghini home. So here we are. You're along for the ride and I'm going to try and tell you what it's like to drive. Let's go. Fruity. Don't curb it. So right away I can tell you it's an overwhelming sense of occasion in this car. You've got the gated manual, you've got the V10 right behind your head. You've got pretty much everyone and their mum looking at you and whipping out their camera phone to take a photo. It's pretty darn special. And I haven't even touched the throttle yet. As we're bumbling through traffic here, you start to notice a few quirks about the car. First is, if you're much taller than me, I'm 6'1" with a bit of hair, you're probably not going to fit all that well. I mean, I'm quite comfortable here. The seat sits quite low, but it's just such a low car to begin with that, yeah, if you're much bigger than me, I think you're going to struggle a little bit. Quirk number two, and this is one of my favourites, thoroughly Italian. As I was sitting in traffic waiting to pull out of that junction, I turned the steering wheel just as I was crawling and coming off the clutch, and you realise the actual steering column and linkage is really close to the clutch pedal, so it was actually catching the tip of my shoe as I was turning the steering wheel. How's that for ergonomics? Quirk number three, I felt something on the back of the steering wheel with my fingers. It was actually catching it a little bit. And I was thinking, what is that? And it turns out it must be the same steering wheel, the exact same one that they fit in the E-gear Gallardo and the same one that they fit in the manual. So I've got the holes in the steering wheel, but obviously no paddles because this is the gated manual. So how about the overall chassis and suspension feel as we bumble along at these slightly slower speeds? Well, yeah, as you would expect, it's quite a firm car. However, the Gallardo's an interesting one because it came along at a point in time when the everyday usable supercar was starting to become a realistic thing. The market was crying out for more usable supercars. So that being said, it is firm, but absolutely not unlivable. And that leads me on to my next point, and it's just how significant the Gallardo feels on the road. Now, some of you might know I owned a Ferrari 360 for a little while, and that was light on its toes. This feels significant. It feels quite heavy set in a good sense. It just feels like a big powerhouse of a car. Now, obviously, this is the gated manual, and yes, it is the one to go for. I can't deny it. Clacking through these gears on a world-class gearbox, who doesn't want to do that? So much more exciting and involving than flicking a paddle. Yeah, I'm in that camp. I'm sorry. Steering feel and weighting, pretty nice actually. It's up there with one of the best cars I've driven. Now obviously a hydraulically assisted rack in this car, and the communication, especially given that it is all-wheel drive, is actually really pretty good. It's a lot better than I expected, and the steering reasonably heavy. As you start to lean on it in bends, it feels, again, leading into the significant feeling of this car. Now obviously, I've saved one of the best things towards the end, and that is the engine. And you know what, I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not even gonna say a word. As we pull onto this carriageway here, let's allow that 5-litre V10 to speak for itself. Oh, yeah, no words needed. Now what really gets me and surprises me about this engine is just how much low down grunt it's got. Now that might sound a bit weird. As I said that, I'm thinking that myself. Grant, what do you mean a 5 litre V10 has got a lot of grunt low down? Of course it does. I don't know, I just kind of expected the Gallardo to be a car that really thrived off of being right up the RPMs, but it's not the case. It's got tons of low down torque, and that sort of feeds into the idea of this being a bit more of a usable car as well. Now don't get me wrong, when you rev this thing out, that's when it makes the best noises, and it really is a true momentum car when you do as well. Now the best thing I can do here, as we come to the end of this drive, is just be quiet and allow you to enjoy that V10 once more. Wow, wow. Dream car? I think so. Final thoughts on the car is I'm just shocked by how confidence inspiring it is. It really is quite something. Now I put that down to a few factors: the punchy engine, the amazing significant feeling the car has to it on the road, but the other thing is also ergonomically is really good. Now I didn't expect that for a slightly older Lamborghini, but genuinely it is very good. The way you sit in the seat's nice and firm as well, the way the steering wheel sort of comes out, down and towards you. It feels great, and I think that helps build the overall confidence of this car as well. And there we go, home safe and sound. I really do think I might have a new dream car here. Now if you've enjoyed the video, please like, and for more thefts of friends' cars, hit the subscribe button as well.